Hello guys, it's Jen's Heart and bit by bit I'm showing you my secret gouache supplies. Shh. Like I have right now two lines of Shmincke gouache. One is Akademia and second one is Designer's gouache. I bought 60mm Akademia Shmincke set in Germany, with an addition of warm blue which is primary cyan, and I store them in plastic warm toned palette and use them in dry and wet condition because it really doesn't matter for me. It's okay both ways. But before my German Schminke, I put 3 designers gouache tips in Prague, and they are so far the best gouache that I own. So, Academia gouache has a velvet, chalky, matte look to them, while designers ones are also more intense and I would say a little bit fluorescent. So in total I have like 12 tubes, but I don't use the phthalo green that came with that because I mix my own greens from the primary colors, which are 2 of the blues, yellows, reds, white and black paints. But yeah, having the addition of designer's tubes allows me to mix very bright and rich secondary colors as they are higher pigmented. So lately I've been working only with the Shmincke gouache set to get used to it and to feel the difference between these ones and my previous one, and also to see what kind of colors I can mix, like how can I get to the most vibrant ones and to the most neutral ones. But I will talk about it a little bit later, because right now you can see that I'm showing you the swatches of this paint, and designer's gouache, like I used a lot less paint of it to get the vibrancy than with Academia set. So designer gouache set is indeed higher quality. Higher quality. I'm sorry for this. And I'm also painting another black swatch to try the white paint on, because white paint works okay, but still you need more than one layer to get the purest white. Yeah, what you also may now noticed, I rewet Akademia and Designer's paint to see how easily they can be reactivated on paper, and here you can see the result. Paint tips has also specific marks on them, where stars means light fastness, resistance, and the square means the opacity. 5 stars is the highest resistance and mean that they will fade away the slowest, and black square is the highest opacity, which means that they are more rich and will cover better. Well, as you can see, the Academia set have the highest light fastness, and I think that is because they are less pigmented. But hey, maybe I'm totally wrong on that. Anyway, I use toothpick to blend the paint on palette to get smooth surface while storing them, and important detail, paints do stain fabric. Like this is already washed clothes and still, so keep your beloved shirts away. So let's talk about the biggest downside to Academia set. So this Shmincke line 60mm has less than 60mm of paint in that tube, because a lot of it is just air and a lot more is this weird slick substance that smells like glue. I don't know what it is, and it messes up the paints, so once you get rid of it, the paint works and reactivates just fine, but this substance dries glossy, and when I try to get some paint on my brush, it really gives away like this faint watercolory amount, and I don't know what it is. Like, if you do, please be sure to comment as I search through Google and find nothing. And in most cases, this weird substance is mixed with paint, so when you try to squeeze paint on your palette, it is with that thing. So you can use it while it's wet, but once it dries, it's really messes up not only the paint itself, but how it looks on palette. But yeah, the paint, like look at how weird it is looking once I'm trying it. Moving on, the next downside is the way how Academia gouache dries in comparison with designers. While Edisa dries a lot smoother, Academia set was badly cracking, having small bits of dried paint here and there that was really hard to reactivate. Oh, and by the way, small tip, if you want to get gouache into semi-liquid state again, use hot water for it and it will give up easily. Okay, so here you can see me working with these paints. Here I will show you two types of arty pieces, and one is a Castile boy with a lot of layering and thick paint strokes, and the second will be a landscape which is painted in a lot lighter, almost like watercolor. And in the end you will see also comparison of gouache versus watercolor of this landscape. Anyway, so yes, you can actually use gouache as watercolors and with proper knowledge and skill get it to almost identical results. For example, on thicker paper, I can have those beautiful water splash marks. And if I mix paint while it's wet on paper, I can do gradients. So yay for this! And here's also the way to define the quality of paints by watering them down. Usually less quality or defective paints granulate and you get visible those little dots in them. So it's really not pleasant to work with. But these paints actually really nicely get watered down and you see no visible signs that they are something wrong with them. As well, on the screen you can see me covering t-shirt with layers of white paint. So here's the deal. I accidentally messed up, but my mistake is a great way to give you a hack. So I've been getting into lining with colored pencils lately, but I did the line with watercolor one instead of the regular. And it ended up smudging and blending with paints. So to get this pure white yellow again, I covered messed up area first with layers of white, let it dry, and then I did layer of yellow on top. So you can use same technique if you want to get bright colors on area that you already painted with black or dark tones. And I was doing this throughout whole sketch in different places. And that is about it, what I had to say about these two Shmincke gouache lines. And despite everything, this is still the highest quality gouache that I've tried, and I use them to make some of my recent favorite pieces, along with taking them on the hike trip, where they behave wonderfully. Comparing two lines, I see no reason to buy Akademia set instead of designers, because they are pretty much the same price and you will need a lot less paint with higher pigmented designer set. So in the end they are as well, seems like the same size and amount of paint. And if you only have access to Akademia line, they are still good enough to use before you can upgrade to the better ones. So yeah, here you go. Alright friends, that is it for the review. I find it easier for me to break it down like this than go through all of my gouache stuff at once, so you will definitely see more of such reviews and insights looks of what supplies are used for gouache. So yeah, look out for more. Tell me what paints have you tried and like the best in the comments down below. I would really like to speak to you. And I will see you really soon. Thank you for keeping me company today. Enjoy autumn mood because I definitely caught a slice of it, and carry on.